Hello and welcome to the first official VRS SCOPS entertainment show with us, the Flat Chat Podcast. I'm JC Richards, Matthew Norris, Christopher Kessie, and we're here to bring you the first pre-season show for the 2019 SCOPS season. We are so amped and pumped for this season, guys. We're brought to you by a really proud sponsor, VRS Virtual Racing School. Now, these guys provide training and data analysis as well as data packs for drivers to really pick up some great setups and track analysis and driving analysis. It's made for the iRacer who wants to expand their stats and their journey through iRacing. So visit virtualracingschool.com and get out of the game and start racing.
That's it.
So look, this show is all about the 2019 SCOPS season, and Kessie, we've got just an amazing season to look forward to this year because SCOPS has been on and up and up and up every year, and this one is going to absolutely just set it off.
This is going to be the best. I mean, we've had a few seasons before this, but this is definitely the biggest series, biggest year for the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series. Absolutely, there is. I'm scared every single day. I'm looking at those timesheets and I'm going, wow, the speed of some of these weapons out there. I mean, far out. And look, a lot of that is to thanks to a lot of the coaches at VRS. Mm-hmm. You'll see a lot of those coaches in the races there. So keep your eye out for them. You might be able to get some advice through VRS, but let me tell you, when they get on track, they're gonna do the best they can. Absolutely flog you. Are
you still trying to get another job as a coach for VRS? Because all the cars are taken up, and not just the cars, but the actual talent.
Look, yeah. Look, I don't think I have an absolute long hair in getting in to be a VRS coach. But look, I'll take their lessons. Anytime.
Yeah, exactly.
VRS are the number one SimRacing coaching platform for sure.
So, obviously, this series is going to be really impactful this year for the broadcasters, SimSpeed Entertainment, and for our podcast too. Yes. So, we're really happy to be bringing you this, and this season is going to be preempted with this show. And, Norrie, we've got a really good show for you today where we're going to look at some drivers and see who's going to be the real contenders in this series.
Yes, we do. We've got, basically what we've done is snapshotted about 22 of the best drivers from last season, 2018, and we've rolled them into who we think is going to really perform well. And if you can't get yourself into the VRS lessons, which you always can, but if you can't get there, the best way to learn is to watch some of these hot shots that we've selected. So keep your eye on some of them. I think we might as well release a livery. We can do some of that.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah, a bit of a launch as well. So,
yeah.
And have you? I don't know.
Trust.
I've had a little sneak peek at the livery, and it's
amazing.
Insane.
Yes,
yeah.
no, I'm really jealous.
No, they need a VRS for painting because some of the guys out there that do these car livery designs are just amazing. Absolutely next level.
Oh yeah,
yeah. All right, so Mr. Matthew Norris, let's go look at our first team.
Absolutely, let's get straight into it. Let's kick things off with the reigning teams champions, Trans-Tasman Racing. Whilst their driver lineup has changed a little bit over the break, they have retained some really talented drivers, such as Kurt Stenberg, Josh Muggleton, and Lee Ellis. Let's keep our eyes, however, on Madison Down, the owner of TTR and a two-time champion in his own right. With 16 wins, definitely someone to keep your eyes on in 2019. Joining him in TTR is Emily Jones, or better known as Emree. Emily is constantly streaming on Twitch, and if you're not watching on the iRacing Esports network, firstly, what the hell is wrong with you? Secondly, go open a new tab, go to Twitch, type in twitch.tv/Emree, and enjoy the show. Well, that's TTR. Chris, on to you.
Hey guys, Kessie here, and I'm here to present to you the 2019 Team of Evolution Racing team. Now, let me tell you, they have made some big moves. One including Jared Filsell. Yes, that's right. The 2018 champion has moved teams to one of the biggest teams already, Evolution Racing team, and there's some great drivers in that team, and I'm sure that he will only help them as a team, and he will be able to add some more wins to his column. Now, over to Ethan Grigg Gold, one of the other drivers for ERT, one of the very exciting ones. He's going to be driving the Aussie Driver Search car in the Toyota 86 Series as well, and he has come leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, really challenging from the title for the title last year against Jared Filsell and Madison Down, and we're really looking forward to see him not just in the real life series in the Toyota 86, but also driving alongside a driver such as Jared Filsell in Evolution Racing Team. Speaking of Evolution Racing Team as well, you cannot forget the dark horse, the young fella who got his first victory at just 16 years of age, Cooper Webster. Man, this guy is an absolute machine. Definitely put him down as a race winner this year. I know I've got him down as a race winner, and I'm really looking forward to see how the influence of some of the two drivers like Jared Filsell and Cooper Webster can work together to help improve this guy's career.
And next up, we have a bit of a fan favourite amongst the SCOPS community, the Trick Sim Sports boys. Now, along with newcomers Scott Zuzowski from ASM and Michael Healy, we've got the drivers from last year, the pairings of Forzan El Nabi, probably one of the fastest young drivers that we have in the field. Last year he got his first win at Interlagos and of course went on to win the Bathurst round with his teammate Ross Rizzo. Now these guys are really favourites of the podcast and of many people out there watching, not just because they're great drivers, but because they were really underdogs last season. So 2019, we're hoping to see them move up even further and maybe get some more wins with such experience that Ross brings with the young tenacity that Forzan brings to the team. I think that we're going to see a fantastic season from Trick Sim Sports.
Thanks, JC. And look, another team that has been ruffled some feathers over the off-season is TTL Esports. Another very well-known team amongst the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series community. And this year, there's going to be a bit of change. Obviously, Josh Rogers was their lead driver. This season, we couldn't really put a finger on it. So what we did was we had a look at their driver lineups. They got people like, obviously, the team boss, Richard Hampstead, and they've got Jake Maloney. But we went with these two, Brady Myers. Now, Brady Myers is, we're still saying up-and-comer because he hasn't really reached his potential yet. However, he has shown some weapon pace recently. Hopefully he doesn't do get into the habit of blowing his motor like he has in the last couple of years. But yeah, this year I'm sure that at TTL he's got a really good team behind him and he'll do a great job this season. Another driver for TTL who has definitely, he's made a lot of movement this year is Jackson Harlow. He has done an awesome job building up his pace over the last 12 months, going from the development series at the early 2018 all the way to top split of SCOPS in the latter part of 2018. We're really looking forward to seeing what Jackson can do. And look, I've heard a couple of the other boys were talking about Jackson taking over as one of the lead drivers. So I guess we'll just have to see.
Well, CMR will be entering a few other drivers this season. We've decided to focus our spotlight here on Marley McMullen. He'll be driving one of the best looking cars on the grid in my opinion. I mean, seriously, look at that thing. Even though it's a Commodore, it's great. With over 15 titles to his name throughout various series, Mullen's definitely a quick guy with some speed, and he'll be looking to keep his car at the pointy end, and definitely someone you should also keep your eyes on in season 2019. Over to Nori. Starting off in karting, and we'll be in an Aussie racing car in 2019, Jack Boyd and Gone Rogue Motorsports are relative newcomers to the SCOPS field, but we have seen them put on some very solid and consistent performances in some other categories. So we're definitely shining the spotlight on these guys to be performers. And I mean perform well, because they will. They have done it in other series, so they will do it in SCOPS. Good luck to them in 2019.
Now this next team is a team that's been around for quite a while in many SCOPS seasons, and they have been kind enough to allow us to launch their livery. I'm talking about the LeBlanc Redback Racing team, and here it is, guys. Look at that beautiful thing right in front of your faces there. That is a Redback Racing livery to die for. It's done by Jake Blackhall with the Knight Rider designs, and you can see that beautiful flowing red wavy Spider-Man pattern is what I'm calling it. That's probably one of the best liveries in my opinion that's coming out this year. Okay, now let's start talking about the team who's going to be driving and piloting such a great piece of kit there. Along with other drivers such as Jacob Knight, who's really shown much improvement last season, and Stephen Varga, who's also on a great trajectory. We have Christopher Robinson. Now, Christopher is a driver that was here and there last season, though his pace is undeniable. And in the 04 car with that beautiful livery, of course, he's going to do wonders this year. I guarantee it. And now to the next driver. This is a contentious issue for some, but look, Harley Haber is probably one of the fastest drivers that we have in our community, and that is without a doubt. Now, Harley was banned last year, and that's for some stuff that went on behind and in the scenes. But this year, he is looking to make a comeback, and with the tutelage of Mark Samuel, the Redback Racing team manager, who's, in my opinion, one of the greatest that we have, he is able to bring Harley to a more mature mindset and to bring his talents out to really showcase what he can do in the Enduro season, which is what we're hearing from Race Control's Mike Koroloff in our podcast. Please go check it out at iTunes and Stitcher, Flat Chat Podcast. But Harley should be really making quite a stance in the Scops Enduros this season. So, Redback Racing team, what can I say, guys? I'm really a fan of this team. I think they're going to do wonders this year, actually. Redback Racing.
Josie, like, are they paying you? Like, you're talking them up heaps.
What? Paying me? I
Seriously.
don't know what you're talking about, Kessie.
Brenton Hobson is the driver of the 88 Synergy SimRacing Commodore. It's quite a nice paint job that they've got this year. It's very good. Newly stickered. Looks great. The undeniable YouTube star of the Scops series, Hobbo88, is always finishing 6th. And last year he managed to break that drought and finally grab a podium. So hopefully Hobbo's got a bit more left in him and he can push for a win in 2019. Jake Burton is one of the most recognisable faces in the iRacing Scops community. Through his VRS coaching and real-world racing exploits through the Toyota 86 series, and being the first in our community to win the Aussie Driver Search, Jake will be looking to turn from his TTR days into these privateer days and add to his solo win that he's got. 2019 may just be the season that Jake gets some more on the board.
Next up, we have Zuva Racing's Brett Loxton. Wow, what an improvement we've seen from this guy in the last 12 months. Zuva Racing starting to come together. They've got a few partnerships there with Henry James Racing, but the unassuming presence of Brett Loxton is coming for victories. That is what he's coming for. He went from the second split early last year of Scops and moved his way all the way up to top split, and we can definitely see him challenging for some wins during this season. Another race winner. That's right, it's time for Wayne Burke. One Performance Racing, he's just moved over from Synergy Sim Racing, so we're really not sure how he's going to adapt to his new team. We know that towards the end of last year, he definitely fired up, getting his first victory ever in V8 Supercars Online Premier Series. And look, he has definitely got a lot of potential. And look, I'm not really sure where to place him this year. I think maybe top 10. I think that's kind of where I would predict where Wayne will finish this year. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. I think this is a specialist guy. He's specialist on some tracks. I know that in Interlagos, this guy is an absolute weapon. So definitely watch out for him there. But yeah, that's Wayne Burke for One Performance Racing.
So this team we're about to bring up is something special. It's XVR Racing, and they're from the UK. Now, these guys, Jonathan Brandon and his teammate Nicole Foggy, they run in the European version of Scops, I guess you could call it, the Euro V8s. Now, Jonathan Brandon is the reigning champion of that series, and him and Nicole are going to come over and make the transition to the main game here and see how they fare. We don't really know what's going to happen, and no pressure, Jonathan. I know that you don't want too much pressure on you, mate, but we know how fast you are running in series where guys like Marlon McMullen, Mike Talianich, and Jake Burton have come over, and you can keep keep up with those guys. So I can't see why the same can't be said for this season of Scops. So XVR, we'll look out for them. They're going to be a real contender on the grid, I reckon.
Thanks, JC. Yes, we're definitely looking forward to seeing how the international drivers out there go in the 2019 Scops season. But now it is time for probably the fastest rising sim racing team in the world. I'm not understating that. Altis Esports. And here we have Dane Warren. Yes, Dane Warren. He's moved on from All-Star Motorsport, who unfortunately closed down in the last season. And he has come to, in my opinion, the team that is definitely going to bring him his first victory. He's come so close over the last couple of years, but I really do think that this budding Carter is going to do an awesome job this season with Altis. And on to their next driver, Sam Blacklock. When he's not painting awesome pictures for everyone through his media outlet, Sam Blacklock Media, he is also racing, and he is racing hard. He is, I believe it was last season's official championship winner. So he's obviously got a lot of pace. And look, he got his first podium in 2018. Onwards and upwards for Sam. Special mention to Ethan Warren and Adam Zeidinger, who will also be running with the Altis team. They are the team to look out for in 2019.
Okay, thanks, Kessie. And yeah, I mean, that was a big ups for Altis, but they have been the form team for this year, I guess. We've only been in the year for a couple of months, but winning Daytona, I mean, bringing on these great drivers and the professionalism that Simon Feigl, the team manager, brings to this team is second to none, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've got a big lineup, and definitely looking forward to seeing how they can do in the V8SCOPS season in 2019.
Yeah, definitely. Norrie, what are your picks for this season? We've got quite a few that we just covered, but who are your favourites, mate? Have you got any sponsorship like me and Redback? That's not real.
The fake sponsorship, I'll just clarify.
I'm actually going to make a big, bold prediction. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick with the Altis theme and head to Sam Blacklock. So, Sam, don't let me down. I'm not putting the Norrie sort of, curse on you. It is on you now. But you definitely, I reckon Sam's definitely got a really good shot. I mean, Altis doesn't come into series to lose. We saw with Daytona 24 Hour, they come in these things to win, and in Sam Blacklock, they've picked a driver who I reckon they can win this year.
Kessie, Sam Blacklock, who's your pick?
Look, I'm not going to go with Sam. I think Sam will definitely get a few podiums this year, as long as he doesn't spend too much time with his paintbrush out, fixing up everyone's car. But
that's Sam Blacklock Media, everyone. He supplied quite a few of the pictures we had on the drivers thing today. So,
Thanks Sam. Look, my pick is actually going to be. It's not from left field at all. This guy almost won it last year, really. I'm going to pick Ethan Griggault from Evolution Racing Team. There's a few reasons behind this. Obviously, he's going to be able to, share some information with Jared, as we know. And we know that Jared might be working on some other series as well around the world. Obviously, he's got his VRS coaching going on as well. If Ethan can do every round, I'm pretty sure that he'll come away with the goods this year. I
think you're right, Chris. With the team pair-up of Jared and Ethan, they were the two kind of head-to-heads last season, weren't they?
So, Madison was there as well, and he's always there.
Well, it's hard to rule out Madison. I mean, going to my pick, I would like to say Madison, but he's got so much to deal with over there at TTR. Like you mentioned, he's got some great drivers, but at the same time, I think he sometimes feels like he might be the old hand in the series. He was like an absolute phenom.
I think he's younger than all of us, but yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he's still quite a young man, but he was a phenom back in the day, and he's still obviously really quite strong to win races. But my pick is going to be Jared for the season. Even though he has got, it's hard to go past him, but at the same time, I mean, prove me wrong, anyone else. I mean, I'm looking at you, Jackson Susan Harlow, as well, because, I mean, some of these drivers like Jackson and Cooper Webster.
They're the young fellas, and you never know. Someone's going to come out of nowhere. There's no doubt.
And that's the thing. We haven't covered the entire field. We've done 22 that we saw in 2018 and the beginning of this year, and we think are good.
Yeah.
There's so many other teams out there. I mean, you've got to qualify. There's got to be 80 drivers to qualify to get in, and then 40 of those make it to the top split. There's too many drivers to pick from. That's just a very small spectrum.
Well, there's like 140 plus drivers registered already for this season.
Exactly right.
I mean, last year we saw about 120 try to enter for the first round. This year I'm expecting the same. Hopefully those numbers stay up.
More. Yeah.
Oh yeah, more this season.
Well, that's
including this guy over here, but third split. Are they going to have a split?
Yeah.
But you're right.
the flat chat split.
The flat chat, yeah, that's 4th to 5th to 19th split. But so many other teams like Progression Racing Australia, KRF was entered with Brett Loxton, but I mean
Pursuit SimSport.
Pursuit SimSport.
New Zealand SimRacing.
Yeah, New Zealand
NZSR.
SimRacing have actually got some.
They've got some gun drivers as well, which we didn't get to. So yeah.
Yeah, true. So if anyone we missed out on, we're sorry, but for you guys, the audience watching this, all over the VRS Facebook page too. The VRS Virtual Racing School has so many followers. I think they're like tens of thousands of people who follow the Virtual Racing School page, and that's where we're headed right now. So thank you very much for sharing this and being part of the podcast, and we're happy to be part of the Virtual Racing School. Phenomenal, move into SCOPS. You've been a sponsor for a while, but Virtual Racing School has really kind of taken over sponsoring so many of the major series, and SCOPS to bring this New Zealand titan of a series to the rest of the world is really what's on the cards for this season, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I think that's about it, guys, and the guys are doing pre-quali right now, so good luck. And
who's going to lay down the gauntlet this weekend?
Who's going to lay down the gauntlet?
Oh, good call.
I think that Matthew Norris, enter at your own risk.
218 Team Hyperdrive
Jared,
off the track.
Jared, I'm going to throw it out there.
Jared's going to win it.
Look, if Jared's racing, he's really fast here. Really fast.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and we'll bring a post-race show to really recap and look over what happened at Canada. But for now,
stop gaming and start racing.
See you guys for the next one.
Thanks, guys.